Hello, my friends. My name is Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. Feel free to leave your thumbs down now because you're not going to like what I have to say. I'm definitely not making this video for likes, that's for sure. Where do I begin? I tend to take a middle position on a lot of things that people tend to be very strongly opinionated on both sides of the fence. So me as a person on the fence looking at both sides, I tend to have both sides disliking me. So I'm going to talk about some mandates. First, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you what I see on Google under the titles about the mandates that were put out yesterday. We can see different wording when talking about these mandates. And then I'm going to look at an article about what the mandates actually are. You see, I'm disappointed in our news media. I'm disappointed in the people who listen to them. Because I see, not just on this topic, but on many other topics, I see people choosing hatred over love. I see people choosing anger over compassion, and I see people not putting themselves in the shoes of other people. I have friends on both sides of the fence on these topics, and I love them all, and I can see their perspectives, and I can understand things about the perspectives on both sides. Okay. But I'm very frustrated with the news media, with the way they choose to cover these things in a deceptive manner and in a manner that puts people against each other. Okay. I'm also very disappointed at our current government leadership and the way they're choosing to handle some of these things. Let's look at some of these titles. So CBS News, about the mandates that were put out yesterday. CBS News says, Biden announces COVID-19 vaccine mandates that will affect 100 million Americans. Washington, President Biden announced the most sweeping COVID-19 vaccine requirements yet on Thursday. They will affect over one. That's pretty straightforward. Fox says Biden disappointed in GOP governors who plan to resist vaccine mandate. Have at it, he says. Joe Biden says he's disappointed in Republican governors who plan to resist the vaccine mandates and are even threatening legal action. Okay. New York Post says the White House clarifies USPS workers will be subject to vaccine mandate. U.S. Postal Service workers will have to get the COVID-19 vaccine or be tested weekly after President Biden mandated the shot for federal. It goes on. Fox News says Biden vaccination mandate doesn't include illegal immigrants. Slate says Republicans lose their minds over Biden's employer vaccine mandate. So, us, the Republicans, just a bunch of, they've just lost their minds, huh? Governor and Bon Secours St. Francis Health System responds to President Biden's vaccine mandate. GOP to sue the White House over vaccine mandate, experts say will fail. Sweeping new vaccine mandates for over 100 million Americans. COVID-19 live updates. Okay. Now I'm going to share my screen. We're going to actually look at what these mandates are. And I'm going to, at the end of this video, I'll give my opinion. Okay. Joe Biden lays out 6-pronged plan to combat COVID-19 this fall. Employers, this is WPTV.com. So I tried to find someone that was just saying the facts of what's actually being mandated rather than being so biased on one side or the other about anyone that has any other perspective than us has to be a total fool or totally out of their minds or delusional or whatever. I mean, both sides have valid points, and I just want to say that. Washington, D.C., and I know everyone watching this will hate me for this video, so here we go. Washington, D.C., President Joe Biden unveiled his six-pronged... Is this a video of him actually talking about it? Because I haven't seen this yet. What is this?
Let me give you some clear...
Oh, okay. Interesting. I didn't know there was a video. Let's... Okay.
...to testing, the progress we've made and the work we have left to do. And it starts with understanding this. Even as the Delta variant 19 COVID-19 has been hitting this country hard, we have the tools to combat the virus. If we can come together as a country and use those tools. If we raise our vaccination rate, protect ourselves and others with masking, expanded testing, and identify people who are infected, we can and we will turn the tide on COVID-19. It'll take a lot of hard work. It's going to take some time. Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated.
Shut the fuck up. Okay, I'm sorry. I can't. Okay. I can't. How do I go back to where I was at? I want to go back to reading. I don't want to. I can't even. I can't even. Okay. I want to go back to reading what he's at. I can't. Okay. I'm sorry. I said you're going to hate me after this video. I can't. Yep. I just cursed out our president on video. Yep. Vaccinate. Okay. Number one. Let's just look at what he's mandating. Number one, vaccinating the unvaccinated. Large employers to ensure workers are vaccinated or tested weekly. The Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, is developing a rule that will require all workers with 100 or more employees to ensure their workforce fully vaccinated, or require any workers who remain unvaccinated to produce a negative test result on at least a weekly basis before coming to work. This requirement will impact over 80 million workers in private sector businesses with 100 plus employees, according to the White House. Vaccinations required for all federal workers, contractors that do business with government. Biden has signed executive orders to require all federal executive branch workers to be vaccinated, and the standard will be extended to employees of contractors that do business with the federal government. Vaccinations required for over 17 million healthcare workers at Medicare, Medicaid hospitals. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services is taking action to require COVID-19 vaccinations for workers in most healthcare settings that receive Medicare or Medicaid reimbursement, including but not limited to hospitals, dialysis facilities, it goes on. Calling on large entertainment venues to require proof of vaccination or testing, requiring employers to provide paid time off to get vaccinated, furthering protection for the vaccinated, providing easy access to booster shot for all eligible Americans, ensuring Americans know where to get a booster, keeping schools safely open, requiring staff in certain schools and programs to be vaccinated. I feel like this is interesting. The president's plan includes requirements that teachers and staff at the Head Start and early Head Start programs, teachers and child and youth programs, personnel at the Department of Defense, and teachers and staff at Bureau of Indian Education operated schools get vaccinated. That's interesting. Why? Calling on all states to adopt vaccine requirements for all school employees. So this is okay. We're moving from, okay, you have the choice of either vaccine or being tested, to now requiring everyone have the vaccine. Here's my issue with that. They're not held liable if anyone has any adverse reactions. They're not held liable if anybody maybe already has allergies to some of the ingredients. They're not making exceptions for people. That's my issue. I'm not saying that some jobs can't say you need to get the vaccine, but for the whole government to say that they're not allowing any school employees to not have the vaccine, it's just ludicrous in my personal opinion. I mean, I can only imagine people who have come to America from Cuba, Venezuela, and other countries, hearing the things that are being mandated upon people right now. That if you want to work in these settings, and I realize I can already hear it. My very own friends will disagree with me on this. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying it should be your personal opinion. It should not be. It should be your personal medical decision, because who is held liable? No one will be held liable if anything negative happens to you. And so you should be allowed to choose whether or not you want to get it. I understand requiring tests, that makes sense, but requiring the vaccine, it does not make sense to me personally. And for someone in government to sit there and say, we're all frustrated with the however many people who haven't gotten the vaccine yet, you don't know their personal circumstances. This vaccine has not lasted long enough for us to know the long-term effects, okay? We don't know the effects that it has. The CDC themselves have talked about on their website about how there are some people who have had heart problems linked to this, and they're trying to say it's only a small percentage, but only a small percentage were the ones that reported it, or that the doctors made the connection between the two. It's interesting. I'm continuing. Providing additional funding to school districts for safe school reopening. So they're incentivizing, going to give money to the schools that are following the rules, right? Using full legal authority to protect access to in-person instruction. Okay, interesting. And let's read this. To date, the department has launched investigations in 5 states that have prohibited mask mandates at schools. If you think the mask is keeping you from getting the vaccine, from getting the virus, it's just, I'm not saying the masks don't help somewhat. It's just getting students and staff tested regularly. The administration is calling on schools to set up regular testing in their schools for students, teachers, and staff, consistent with the CDC guidance. Providing FDA resources to support review of vaccines for those under 12. Biden says his plan supports the independent scientific review of a vaccine for those under 12 and will provide the FDA with any needed resource to support its ongoing efforts to do this safely and as quickly as possible. Increasing testing and requiring masking mobilizing industry to expand easy-to-use testing production, making at-home tests more affordable. Okay, I just randomly at the Chick-fil-A on Wednesday, I heard another table of people talking about they tried going to a sporting event outside at a stadium, and they arrived there, and because they weren't vaccinated, they were required to pay $40 for one of these stupid rapid tests. They had already paid for their tickets. Just a whole bunch of baloney, in my opinion. Sending free rapid at-home tests to food banks and health centers. That's nice. Expanding free pharmacy testing. Continuing to require masking for interstate travel and double fines. What is this bullshit? I'm sorry, I'm going to be cussing in this video, and you're going to hate this video, and I'm going to have like 100 thumbs down and no thumbs up, and I don't care. I'm just sharing the facts. And I'm not saying that I'm not against the vaccine and I'm not against the masks, but I am against just the government forcing everyone to do what they. It's just interesting. Continuing to require masks for interstate travel and double fines. Well, double fines for what? Under Biden's plan, masks will continue to be required in airports. That's fine, whatever. And except for when your kid is like little and people get kicked off the plane because their 2-year-old doesn't want to put a mask on. It's just ridiculous. And then when the snack cart comes, you can take off your mask. So what's even the freaking point? It's so. The reason I haven't been on an airplane for years. Okay. I'm just double fines for those who are in not compliance. What country are we in? I can already see the comments, what you guys are going to say that I'm so like wrong. It's fine. Continue requiring masks on federal property. That's fine. That's their prerogative. You're the government. You can control your government buildings. Leave the rest of us alone. I won't go to your government building then. I'm fine with wearing masks to the grocery store if it's required of me. I'm fine with wearing a mask to the grocery store if that grocery store requires it because it's their choice, not because the government mandated them to require it. Do you understand the difference? If you don't understand the difference, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. But I'm seeing posts from people talking about how, oh, anybody who doesn't understand this must be dumb. Okay. We're making kids go to school all day long with masks on their face. Whether or not they cough into the mask, sneeze into the mask, have a runny nose, they're not able to smile at each other. Kids with special needs are required to wear masks. Kids that are deaf are unable to read what people are saying, read their mouths. People who are blind are forced to follow arrows on the floor that they can't even see in grocery stores. It's just a whole lot of baloney, in my personal opinion. And then we have people who are saying, anyone who has any opinion other than my own, both sides of the fence, anyone who has any opinion other than my own deserves to die of the virus because the virus is their fault. None of us wanted the virus, and we're all doing the best we can. That's my point of this video, I guess. And this government needs to stop acting like a dictatorship. And I realize there's probably people out there that are friends of mine. And I don't want to stop being their friends because we have different political opinions or different opinions about the masks. And maybe some people say, I should never talk about this. The fact of the matter is we are now in our second year of this whole virus pandemic situation. And this is my first time talking about any of this on my channel because I'm just seeing a lot of things that I can't. Protecting our economic recovery? Are you kidding me? Oh, what? Print more money? Yeah. Okay, print more money. Go for it. PPP loan forgiveness for small loans. Yeah, our economy is going to crash. Launching community navigator program to protect small businesses with help. As if they didn't already screw over all of the small businesses. What, you think a small loan is going to help the small businesses? Doing care, getting life-size monoclonal antibody treatment to those who need it. Okay. All this to say, everyone's gonna hate this video, and it's okay. Jimmy Kimmel made a joke, if you can call it that, and he probably didn't even write it because he has writers, but he chose to read it. He chose to say it. Jimmy Kimmel, definitely not a fan anymore as of long ago, but currently even more so. Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about how if the hospitals are overrun and supposedly COVID is the fault of all the people that are still unvaccinated, then when a vaccinated person who has a heart attack and an unvaccinated person who's had poisoning comes to the hospital, then the only one who should receive treatment is the one who's been vaccinated, and the one who is unvaccinated should die. People clapped and laughed about that. Another YouTuber who tends to do kind of prank type videos surveying how dumb people can be. He went out with a clipboard to get people to sign whether or not they would be in favor of people who are unvaccinated being arrested. And a lot of people signed that dumb petition because we're so blind. There was a few people that were like, I would never sign something like that. More people needed to say that. We need to open our eyes to the attitudes that we're having about these things. Sometimes it's not about the masks. Sometimes it's not about the shot. Sometimes it's about our attitude towards our fellow man. Because I'm seeing people on both sides saying then they can just die. Well, I hope you die from the vaccine then. Well, I hope you die from not having the vaccine then. But last I checked, none of us wish this pandemic on the world. Okay, so you can't blame your neighbor or your brother for something that is outside of their control. If they personally, for their own personal self, choose not to get a shot, it is not their fault. The whole world has a pandemic right now. Okay, at the same time, I have friends who have children who are immunocompromised, and they are feeling frustrated right now by people who are not willing to wear masks when it's required and this and that. And I understand that. I get that perspective too. That's why I say I'm not anti-mask, but I'm definitely not pro-mask. Not anti-vax, but I'm definitely not pro-vax. Me personally, this is my personal perspective. When my babies were born, they didn't get a vaccine the day they were born. Why? Because it's a teensy tiny 6-pound baby. Why do they need a shot right now? They got the vitamin K shot, but they did not get the what is it? The hepatitis B vaccine. They don't need a vaccine as soon as they come out of their mother. They're a tiny baby. So I made the personal decision as their mother, because I didn't have a government mandating me. I made the decision that when my children reached 10 pounds and they were a healthy size, so that they could then get their first shots. So then they would get up to date according to the current shot system. And I also chose to only have my kids have up to 3 shots in a day, not more. So 1, 2, or 3 shots. That way, if my children were to have an adverse reaction, hopefully we would be able to track down which ingredients they were allergic to so that we could avoid those ingredients. Also, if they had an adverse reaction as a 6-pound baby, they might die, whereas a 10-pound baby might survive. So I try to make smart decisions. So I try to evaluate the situation. To have the government tell you if and when you can have a vaccine, they're not my health care provider, okay? The government's not my healthcare provider. So that's why I have an issue with them making healthcare decisions for me. Will they pay my doctor bill if and when, as the CDC says, a small percentage or whatever percentage of people have had heart defects as a result of some of the ingredients? Is the government that's forcing me, that's mandating me to get this shot, are they going to pay my doctor bill? I don't think so. In fact, I know they won't. Okay? It's ludicrous. If you are watching this right now and you have had the vaccine, gold star for you. If you have not had adverse reactions, awesome. I'm happy for you. Okay? You've not had adverse reactions. You can put your profile picture how you want. You can feel a sense of accomplishment. You can feel a sense of you're helping your community. You can feel a sense of you're making everything better. But know this, that you should still be careful, because I know people who have had the vaccine who have also been hospitalized with COVID-19. So there are variants, it's comparable, and people don't like the flu comparison. It's comparable to the flu vaccine in that you can still get the flu because there's different variants. It's a virus. That's all I've got to say. I could keep going all day. But nothing I say is going to get through to anyone, because we've got people on one side of the fence. Let's say the people on the other side of the fence are total idiots, and the other side of the fence, people on the other side of the fence are total idiots. And we have news on this side that are like, everybody but our opinion is wrong. And people in the news on the other side, everybody but the other opinion is wrong. And then we have the government that's saying everybody has to do what we say or else. And that's what I have a problem with. I have a problem with how people are treating each other. And I have a problem with how the government is suddenly thinking they're a dictatorship. That's what I have a problem with. And I know that there will be people that disagree with me, but wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could still be friends after we disagree on a topic? Do you remember a few years ago how the whole freaking internet blew up because Starbucks had red coffee cups? They were like, it's religious because it's a holiday cup. And other people were like, how could you have that opinion? I love Christmas and it's just red. It doesn't say Merry Christmas on it, or Merry Christmas is offensive to me. It was a freaking red cup. And this is now years later. I wish we could go back to worrying about stupid holiday Starbucks cups. It seems like everybody just wants to hate others no matter what's going on in the world. And it just gets worse. It just gets worse. And I'm sick of it. And you're probably watching this and think that I am endangering the lives of others because I have not gotten this vaccine. My kids are up to date on their other vaccines, except for Caleb. I did not take my baby to the pediatrician appointments all of 2020 because sick people go to the doctor, and that's where the sick germs are. And the virus is very real. The virus is very real, but different people are going to be careful in different ways. For example, I am homeschooling my kids because the virus is very real. I don't believe the masks help that much. And keeping a mask on your face that has the germs of you coughing and breathing into it is not going to keep you safe from getting sick, in my personal opinion. That being said, the masks probably help somewhat when you're going in the grocery store for a few minutes. That being said, when they took the mandates away and we finally could smile at people at the grocery store, it was like the best day of my life. And then having to wear it again is like so depressing. But if it saves one person from getting COVID, let me wear the dang mask to the store. It's fine. It's okay. But making little kids wear it all day long at school is difficult for me to do to my own kids. I couldn't be a public school teacher right now. It would just be really hard. That's why I can't be a substitute teacher right now, because I would have to require, if I was in a classroom setting and all the kids had masks on their face and one kid took their mask off, I personally could not be like, Billy, you have to wear your mask. What if they cough in it? What if they sneeze in it? What if it's wet? My kids, when they wear a mask to the grocery store, I feel like a horrible mom with them wearing the mask. When they're not wearing the mask, I'm like, feel awesome. Like, yay, we can smile at people again. But my kids will get a runny nose and their mask will be wet. I'm already taking their mask off before we even go out of the grocery store. Yes, I'm a rule breaker. I'm a total rebel. In fact, one time we were so sweaty and hot from being outside, we went into a store that had a mask mandate. We had the masks in my hand, and I was like, if somebody that works here tells me to put them on, I'm going to put it on. But we're so sweaty right now. It's like so disgusting to have this mask on. I'm more than 6 feet apart away from everybody. I don't have the virus. If I don't have the virus and you don't have the virus, then why are we wearing masks? So we're doing a homeschool co-op, and our homeschool co-op is a bunch of Christian moms, and there's 15 moms and 60 kids, and we don't have to wear masks. There's a couple people that do wear masks as they want to. That's their prerogative because that's their personal decision. But our main rule is if you have any symptoms, stay home. Amazing, isn't it? Isn't it amazing? But yeah, but not everybody has the liberty and the blessing that I have to work from home and to be able to homeschool. And so people that have to send their kids to school, like, I can't blame them either. Like, I can't judge you. If you've chosen to get the vaccine, I can't judge you. If you've chosen not to get the vaccine, I can't judge you. If you choose to wear a mask, I can't judge you. If you choose not to wear a mask, I can't judge you. Because guess what? We're all just trying to do the best we can. It's just like it's comparable to motherhood, okay? All these, I can't even be in that many Facebook groups about moms because moms spend all this time judging each other about, oh, you don't breastfeed. Oh, you bottle feed. Oh, you go to the daycare. Oh, you don't go to the daycare. Oh, you do this. Oh, your kid doesn't do tummy time. Well, you can't. We're all just doing the best we can. I saw this one post. I love it. I love it so much. It says, good moms vaccinate their kids. Good moms don't vaccinate their kids. Good moms breastfeed their kids. Good moms bottle feed their kids. Good moms use cloth diapers. Good moms use disposable diapers. It's just we're all just trying the best. We're trying to do the best we can. None of us are trying to spread the virus. None of us are trying to. We're all trying our best here. We're all trying our best. If you were one that says, oh, well, I doubt that the virus even exists, I would have to disagree with that because I do know people who have died from the virus. It does exist. But should our government be treating us this way? So now I may be faced with situations where my husband may be forced into getting a vaccine in order to keep his job. How screwed up is that, in my opinion? It's just, like I said, this is not going to be a video that you enjoy. But now you know my perspective. What, take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. You probably, 99.9% of people watching this video are going to have a different opinion about me, about something that I've mentioned in this video. And guess what? Guess what? We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to hate each other over vaccines. We don't have to hate each other. That's why I'm sorry that I cussed, and I'm sorry I cut off the president and I didn't keep listening. But when he started talking so detestfully about people who've chosen not to take the vaccine, my family are those people he's talking about. And he's talking as if we are the ones giving the virus to everyone. I have not had the virus. I have not given the virus to anyone. If I'm wearing a mask or not wearing a mask, I'm not passing the virus to anyone. If I get the shot or don't get the shot, I'm not passing the virus to anyone. I don't have the virus. Stop blaming the virus on me. I'm not the person who funded it. Stop pushing the blame off on the people that are just making the decisions that they're making for their family, just as other people are, you know? And so I have no doubt that this time next year, probably my husband and my mother-in-law and maybe even me will have the shot by then. Probably, because we'll be forced into a corner that we will want to be able to travel. We will want to be able to have jobs. And so we probably will get the shot. But darn it, we're going to go down kicking and screaming. and we'll see what the effects are. Maybe we won't have any adverse effects, but maybe it'll all just be wonderful. Maybe everyone in the United States will get the shot and then the virus will go away forever. Don't you think that'll happen? That's all I've got. That's all I've got. I think our eyes would be a little bit more open about what the government is doing if we're coming from a country that this had already happened before in. Coming from Cuba or Venezuela, where the government just decided to start mandating things and not letting you have a personal decision anymore. If they can take away some rights, why not them all? It's just interesting. And if you made it to this point in the video and you started at the beginning, you get a pat on the back and you have earned your thumbs down for this video. I will have fun watching how many thumbs down this video gets. It should be very interesting. Thank you very much. Have a great day.